I'm Ryan Heffernan, and today we're tracing the trail of creativity across campus. Behind me is the first installation of the Live Sewing Project here in the Fine Arts Building. As the initial needle punctures material outside the Fine Arts Building, the Live Sewing Project encourages students to consider differently what they wear and how it's created.
Into sewing was my dad. He's more of the sewist in my family. He originally kind of had me always like patching up or sewing like laundry bags because sometimes there'll be a hole in it. I would fix that either hand sewing or sewing it on the sewing machine. And then like at the time during the pandemic, he had me sewing, masks and stuff for the family because we needed some masks. But it was like him and then like America's Next Top Model before it was controversial. But yeah, that's like it's my dad and like just media and television and stuff like that.
Every student has a story that they bring to the table, and sometimes the beginning is just beginning with one strand. That sense of process and purpose strikes particularly close to home for Meredith, who is employed at a local thrift store and is a big help to the community of Rhode Island.
I think what makes our thrift store different is that we've figured out how to really increase the volume. A lot of nonprofits and charities do what we do and have a thrift component that helps raise money. But what I think is really different about us is that we have achieved the volume that we have. So we raise over $1 million a year in the thrift store, and it's 7,000 square feet of thrifting, which you just don't find in a lot of other places. Did is one of the more interesting jobs at Johnny Cake. We have two types of clothing. We have regular clothing where we sell it for $1 and there's nothing particularly special about it. And clothing, which is what the group worked on. That clothing is set aside early in the sorting process and then gets tagged into formal wear. The more interesting clothing, if you will all go through the string tagging process. It just helps us earn a little more for the organization. The hardest part about this project, I think the time management that's involved in making it all actually happen. It's really made me focus on finding the time to design in addition to actually sewing. And there's been a lot of just the amount of prep that's gone into this, I think has been the hardest part.
This second iteration showcases the complexities between concept and craft, reminding us that art and science are caused by the same strain of curiosity. Here, the project moves into a more technical territory, where sewing becomes a process formalized through repetition, intention, and attention.
So for the jacket itself, I was inspired by the song Poster Boy by Lynn Lapid. In the music video, there's a character who wears a nice green kind of corduroy jacket. I'm not really a fan of corduroy, but I did really like the color, and I wanted to kind of make a jacket based off that since it's typically not something I have in my personal wardrobe. So it was kind of fun trying to make it. And the pants, I wanted to make it a nice set. So we had to have the kind of green pants with the jacket, and the tote just kind of put everything together for it.
And sometimes it's not about making it alone. It's about assisting others in finding confidence in the process. As the project reaches its ultimate goal at the stew, what was once a piece of fabric and string has become bigger than itself, a collective narrative stitched together on campus.
I'm a maker basically, and I put a big value on anything that is made by hands, and students usually are very enthusiastic about learning how to sew. They start with hoping to learn how to mend clothing, how to prolong the life of the clothing that they have, but they actually learn much more than that. They can make clothing after taking the class. It is really exciting and fulfilling to see that they are very happy and enthusiastic about this ability to make their own things.
From fine arts to science, and here at the Stew, The Live Sewing Project has sewn its way across campus, uniting people in color, fabric, and imagination. I'm Ryan Heffernan, back to you in the studio. As the project reaches its ultimate goal at the STU, what was once a piece of fabric and string has become bigger than itself, a collective narrative stitched together on campus.